today's episode of the Conscious H.O.E podcast, which is all about you honing and owning your empowerment. I want to talk to you or share with you one of my secrets that I have found to make dating so much more fun. And I will invite you to try this on. And that is the creation of dating rosters, plural. Now, what do I mean by rosters when it comes to dating? A lot of people have this idea that you have your roster of men or women or maybe both that are, they're on your team. You're playing the field with them. And I encourage you to have more than one roster. Because when we approach dating from this, that everyone that you're meeting is a potential partner, I believe that you're setting yourself up for disappointment, failure. And to me, dating should be fun, first and foremost. If you're not having fun dating, why are you doing it? In my personal opinion. But I have been there right alongside of you, been frustrated with dating, not understanding like some men's actions, why some men do certain things, why other men don't do things. And what I found to be super helpful for me was to date by distinguishing the men that I was dating. Now, I will say that I am someone that believes in abundance. I personally believe you don't need to limit yourself. And especially when you're dating and you're on dating apps and you're just getting to know people, there is no need for you to be exclusive with any one person as you are getting to know people. Give yourself that permission. I can promise you that men, if you're talking to them and you've not had this exclusive chat, they more than likely are also talking to multiple women. Why can't we do it? And we think that we can't do that because there's so much shame and stigma attached to this. But dating multiple people does not mean that you are sleeping with multiple people. Okay? Very important. Dating does not equal sleeping or always being intimate with someone. Dating can be going out, exploring, having a great time with someone. And that is the lens in which I approach it. But as a woman that owns her empowerment, if you so choose to get intimate with someone, you get to own that and you also get to own whatever risks are associated with that and responsibility and consequences with that. And you can do that and absolutely be in your power. In episode number 9 of the podcast, I actually talk about this and why I actually took a step back from casually sleeping with people. However, again, this is something that can wax and wane. You can go back and forth with whatever you want to do, but it is about you not playing victim, because that's really important, and you doing it from a place of power. And in that episode that I just referenced, episode number 9, I talk about that where I was sleeping with people was not coming from a place of empowerment. So that's always my caveat when it comes to sleeping with people. Boo, you do you, who cares? So again, I do not believe that you should exclusively date any one person until you've really established that idea of exclusivity. But in any relationship that you have with anyone, whether that's a man that you're dating or the relationship with yourself or friends, coworkers, whomever, your family, it requires a level of communication. And I believe that in general, many of us are not great communicators, but when you are dating effectively, one of the things that dating will help you do is to become a more effective dater. Okay. So if you are making the mistake and you are not distinguishing the type of men that are coming into your sphere to date you, I'm going to help you not make this mistake. Okay. So in the beginning, I'm coming out of a 6-year relationship. I really had, when you come out of a relationship and you're so used to being with someone, having someone, it becomes really easy for that to be like just the thing that you want to look for. And I was doing that. I thought that I needed to be dating for a relationship. And then something shifted, something clicked. I'm like, wait a minute, I could just be dating for fun. I can be dating just for the simple joy and fact that I love to get to know people. And I can be dating and having fun just by meeting new people. I believe that any person that you meet has a purpose. There's a reason why we meet people. Nothing in life is an accident. Nothing in life is a mistake. And it's up to you to be curious about, okay, what might this person teach me? What message might they be here to deliver me? Or even what might they be here to show me? And so I go on dates with men that I know that I am not going to be romantically inclined to go on dates with, but they might have some sort of career or profession or skill set or hobby that I'm interested in. And why not? Why can't I just go and get to know that person and also be clear in my communication with them? All right. So I'm always going to give that first date an opportunity to see where it goes, to see how the energy is. And also, if I understand that it's not going to go anywhere romantically, I can express that to someone, as you should as well. And this is where your roster comes in. Okay. So coming out of this long-term relationship, I was thinking immediately I needed to find someone. And the reality of what I actually needed to do was to find myself. And so, if you are single and dating, I want to invite you to really think about dating as a means and a tool of self discovery for you. And for you to approach it that way, that you're going to go on dates and you are going to meet yourself. And you're going to take time to become very curious with yourself as well. Why is it that you do or act certain ways? What is it about you that makes you respond a certain way to people? Can you challenge yourself? And when we learn to be curious, that's the game changer of life, I promise you. So, again, when we're dating, it's an opportunity for you to be selfish and selective in what you desire. And I had someone slide in my DMs recently. She asked this question and she said, because I talk about rosters in my dating rosters, but it's not been something that I've ever openly explained to people when it comes to that. She says, so when guys ask what you're looking for, what do you say to be able to have both rosters? Does it depend on who you're talking to? And I love this question because one, a conscious hoe is a woman that hones and owns her empowerment. She is not taking any ownership of a man asking her a question. She takes ownership for the things that she can control. I can't even control whether or not a man is going to ask what it is that I'm looking for. He might not give a damn. Okay. Right. But what I can control is knowing what one, I'm seeking and looking for, and then two, the distinguishing of the men that I'm dating and not putting everyone on the same team to play. I have two different teams, one of which is a roster that I would call my potential slash VIP roster. And then the other is my play roster. And we are going to break these things down. And I promise when you look at maybe your single roster, and then you start to divide them up and split them up, it's going to change the game for you. Or if you don't have a roster, you need a roster that once you start creating your roster, you're going to have two different rosters or whatever makes the most sense, however you choose to distinguish your men, right? So to come back to her question of when a man asks me what I want, the first thing that you need to know is what the hell is it that you want? Who cares about what this man wants? Or if you're a man listening to this, who cares about what the woman wants? You first and foremost need to have the clarity of what you want. You get to be, quote, many of us will struggle with this, especially people pleasers, with this idea that you 100% get to be, quote, selfish. You get to be selfish in dating. You get to say, this is what I'm looking for, and know what that is, and being very clear. And you have to have a clarity around it. So if somebody were to ask me this question, I tell men, I'm not looking for a husband. I don't want children. So I'm not looking for a one night stand. And I'm also not looking for a husband. So it's something in between. And I am very clear and I know what it is that I desire. And I know that when I find it, I will know. But in the meantime, I'm gonna have a load of fun and being on the journey of finding it. That's just it. I'm going to be on the journey. I'm going to be open. I am going to allow myself experiences and opportunities to get to know people because as you do that, you will always find more clarity. In this current stage of my life, again, I'm not looking for a husband. I don't think I'm ever going to be looking for a husband. And I'm very blunt and open with men about that. And sometimes we think that we need to have a certain type of life because that's what society says. And I want to challenge you. If you are someone that you kind of question marriage, maybe you question children, why are you questioning it? It gets to be a solid, like in your body. Yes, that's something that you want, or no, it's something that you don't want. And if you don't want those things, that's okay. And you get to be open, honest, and truthful, first and foremost, with those things with yourself and then with other people. So many of us are scared to admit our truths to other people. Why? Why are you afraid? Is it because you're afraid to be rejected? Is it because you're afraid to be labeled as something? Go get curious with those things with yourself. The only person that really should ask you questions why is yourself. Okay. So again, my rosters come from this space of I know what I want and I know the values that I seek in a partnership, and I will know when it comes. And I also know that as someone that is still very much on the journey of doing my own work to become the type of person that actually gets the partner that I desire. Many of us, we get out of relationships and it's creating this list of your dream ideal person. And that's freaking amazing. It's fabulous. Go do that. Go have clarity behind that. And also, is it so important for you to become the person that is the complement to the person that you might be looking for? Many of us are just showing up like, yeah, this man ain't this, he ain't that, yada, yada. Boo, what are you? What are you bringing to the table? Are you doing the work on yourself? Are you actively showing up every single day to become a better person? Because chances are the version of who you are right now is not the version of you that's going to, I hate saying the word attract, because I don't know that we necessarily attract, that you call in the person that you want. Who are you becoming? That's a very important question because you have to become someone different. I promise you. So I'm very aware that I am doing that work. And also for me, as I'm doing that work and being able to call in this ideal partner that I have made a list about, and know that when you have that list and you have that clarity, the universe always wants to give you whatever it is that you want. Whatever you want, whatever you think about on repeat, the universe wants to give that to you, whether it is quote positive or negative. If all you think about is debt, guess what the universe is like? Boo, I got you. Here's some more. It's crazy how this stuff works, but whatever your mind focuses on is what you will bring into your life. Okay. So I really want you to think about that. That's so important. Where are your thoughts? Where is your mind currently? And is that a great space for you to be in, or should you be in a different space? Think about it. So as you have this clarity of what it is that you want, universe will start sending it to you. And sometimes it needs to be tweaked. So you might put on your dream list that the man that you desire, the woman you desire is loyal. Okay. And then the universe will send you a person that's loyal, but maybe in that loyalty, are they very clingy? And you don't like that. So now it's kind of back to your list, your drawing board of becoming a little more clear. Like, hey, universe, I really want someone that's loyal and also that they have the ability to be alone and to give me space when I need space. Does that make sense? So really important that, again, you have clarity in what you are wanting in someone else, but also the understanding that you have to do the work and become the person that has and calls in that person that you want. Okay. So, in my current stance of dating, and as you are, I've been single for a year and a half after a 6-year relationship. I don't know that there's some special magical number that's like, hey, for every year that you were in a long-term relationship, you need X amount of healing. None of that is something that anyone can put a number on. But I do believe that when you've been with someone for a very long time, you can take time to figure out what it is that you want next. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that to me is a conscious hoe, a woman honing and owning her empowerment. That is someone that is taking ownership for what dating looks like for them. You get to take ownership. If you're the type of person that's like, you've been hopping from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, and all you know are these long-term situations, and what you desire might be to go and like be wild and have this experience, but because you are so used to relationship to relationship to relationship, that's ultimately what you go and seek. Give yourself the permission, take ownership, be in your empowered state of, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm just going to have a great time and I'm going to meet a lot of people. Go take ownership of that. Go learn how to be by yourself. Go on that discovery of who are you without, quote, a partner. I bet you that person's so cool. But if you're jumping from relationship to relationship, you haven't met that person yet. Give yourself the opportunity to do that. You get to take ownership of that. I'm looking at my notes real quick. So, as I started taking ownership of my own dating life and landscape of what that looked like, there became this joke of I have my play roster and then I have my serious and potential roster. And the roster, to come back to my followers' question of how do you get to have both? You get to have both if you want to have both. And it looked like for me, I don't place a distorted reality on any man that I meet. So if I know that I want the ability to be in a partnership or have a partnership that might look potentially one day having multiple partners, if I meet a man that is great and we have a great time, but I know that he is looking for a wife and children, and these are things that I don't want, I'm not going to put a distorted reality on him of maybe he'll come around and decide that I can convince him that he really actually doesn't want to have children. No, his truth is that he wants what he wants and I want what I want. And so our values may not be aligned. Our desires might not be aligned, but maybe together we're meant to cross paths for some sort of reason. Because again, my personal belief is I don't meet people on accident. I meet people on purpose. And they're either going to show me something about myself that I either like or I need to work on. They might come with a lesson that I need to learn. Oh my gosh, some men, I can look and think back. I've been on a lot of first dates, and I can look at every date and say that it has taught me something about myself, or it has been the opportunity for me to become curious with myself. That, because dating to me is about self-discovery ultimately. And you date best when you develop a foundation and relationship with yourself. No date will ever be a waste of my time. I have learned how to become a better communicator. I have learned how to ask better questions. I have learned how to speak up for myself. I have had the opportunity to be able to release attachment around what people think of me. I've released shame. There has been so much that I have learned and grown through in this period of being single. It will never be a waste of time. So if that's in your vocabulary, take that out. It's never a waste of time. But a man that might be amazing, might have great hobbies and skill sets and things that I can learn from, but I also know that he wants something that I want or don't want that's different. I'm just going to put him on a different roster. I'm going to put him on my play roster, my roster where this man can be somebody that I can go hang out with. I can have a great time. Personally, I believe that men and women can just be friends. And if you want to, you can do things with your friends, do things. You can be cuddly or intimate with your friends if you so choose, if that feels like a place of empowerment for you. Okay. So that's how I started owning dating. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going on a date with someone that's upcoming. And I know there's nothing I'm romantically inclined about this person. However, he has not come into my space on accident. And I believe that he's here to show me and to help me improve certain skill sets and that I'm going to meet him and that we are going to have this mutually beneficial exchange of energy, talent, and communication that we're going to take away. We're going to walk away from that first date. And this isn't me putting expectation. I have no attachment to what actually happens. However, it allows me to show up from a space of like, there's no pressure for any of this. And I'm excited to learn about this person and how they've been able to generate success and how they've been able to become a very successful entrepreneur, because I don't look at every single relationship or date that I go on as it needing to go somewhere, is that it needing to end that I'm going to marry someone. And maybe this is because I don't have a true desire to be married. I don't. As a 38-year-old woman that does not want children, to me, it's like, why would I get married? This is all something that might change. I might meet someone's like, oh my gosh, I'm so obsessed. Like, let's be together forever. But when you look at it like love today, that's not most people's reality. And it's not to say that that couldn't be my reality. It's just people don't stay together. They don't. It is so easy. People don't work through the drama. People don't communicate with each other. People don't express upfront what it is that they want or like or don't like. And as they're growing and changing and evolving, it's so important that you have a partner that's also willing to do that alongside of you. And that's not going to be everyone. And I think that we have to be okay with sometimes like relationship dynamics and what they look like are just going to change. And so for me, because that's my thought, that to me feels like the reality. I don't really feel like I need to be married for something like, or any reason, right? So this potential person would be somebody that I put more on a VIP roster. Like VIP, my potential roster is going to be someone that, again, I can spend time with, and it's going to be very beneficial. Okay. In some way, though, it might not necessarily be a romantic way. This is for me personally. Okay. So I want you to develop your rosters. Who is the man that you've met and you just hit it off with? You have a great time, but there's something about him that you're like checking the box, checking the box, checking the box, checking the box. And then he has what we might call a red flag. Like he doesn't want to settle down. That might be your red flag. Can I challenge you that you're allowed to know exactly what this man wants, to know exactly what it is that you want, and stay open to the opportunity to continue to explore with him, for you to continue to learn things about yourself, to give yourself the chance to become a better communicator, to use them as practice. Some people might not agree with this. As a man might be like, oh my God, you're wasting time. But I can guarantee you that there's probably some man in your life wasting your damn time. And it's not to like go tit for tat. It's just for you to release the shame around everyone that you meet is not meant for you to date long term. They're not. But it's not to say that in the moment, in this present opportunity, can you be learning something about yourself? That's the lens that I want you to approach dating with. So when I look at my two rosters, my play roster is someone that I've gone on multiple dates with, that I enjoy their energy, but maybe they're not looking for anything serious, intimate, or exclusive. And I can be totally cool with that. And then that becomes not someone that I necessarily will go out of my way to make plans with, but someone that's, hey, just there in the background. They're cool. Hey, maybe I'm bored on a Tuesday and I'm like, hey, what are you up to Thursday night? We should go do something. Although that's never me. I never ask people questions like that. But just knowing that if a man presents to you like that, and he's someone that you're kind of like, I know that I don't want anything about this, but yeah, sure. Why not go out, get out, be in some masculine energy for a little bit, have a good time, go home and be like, okay, yeah, that was great. On to the next, on to the next. Okay. And then we're the VIP roster for me, or my more potential for something long-term, or again, long-term doesn't necessarily even look intimate to me as a 38-year-old woman that wants to date, wants to have fun, and wants to meet new people. Long-term could look like, is there some sort of opportunity that we have to help one another grow in a way that is mutually beneficial for the both of us? So my VIP roster is going to be someone that I enjoy spending time with, It's someone that their actions align with my values. So one of my values is communication. Someone that consistently communicates with me, and not just on this, hey, good morning level, but on this level of, hey, how was your week? Hey, what did you learn about yourself? Hey, what are you celebrating yourself for? That can communicate with me on that level, that has that value of communication. Yeah, sure. I'm going to continue to explore that. I'm going to give that person more of an opportunity than I might somebody that is just on my play roster. And play, I mean just that, playing. I know that playing in some communities can mean, but when I mean play, I mean, I don't know if you can hear my alarm going off. I mean having a good time. I mean going out and playing and allowing yourself to be in fun energy and to let your hair down and to not take your life so seriously. We all need those people in our lives. And I do believe that that can be a person of the opposite sex. As a woman, I do believe that you can have friends. Again, this is my personal opinion. I do think that you can have friends that are not the same sex as you, and that you can talk about things. And some of my friends that I have, literally, that, yeah, I've gone on a date and I know I really don't want to have anything to do with them. They give me ideas for my spicy account. Like, it's great because I'm in the psyche of a man's mind in a way, but we both know that, hey, this isn't going anywhere. And should sometimes, if we both decide that, hey, it feels really good to be, you know, a little intimate, a little spicy together, then we'll give ourselves the opportunity to do that. Period. Okay. So I want you to come from dating as a place of empowerment, to look at it as an empowering space, and to distinguish the men that you are dating. Not every man that you are dating or that you might be swiping right on is going to be your potential partner. But you in dating get to decide what you are open and available for. And I promise you, if you are more open and available to having fun with dating, it will take off so much pressure, and you're going to find yourself to show up so much differently on dates. I have so much fun on dates because I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for. I know that I'm actively involved in doing the work. And also, I get to have a good time. Allow dating to be a space in your life where you can kick back and enjoy it. I am curious, after hearing this episode today, are you going to develop your own dating roster? Can you look at the list of people that you might be dating? Because again, we should have a list of people that we're having fun with, getting to know with, until we've had a talk of exclusivity with someone. In the meantime, go out, have a good time. And no, you don't need to see all these people every single week or bi-weekly. It can be, maybe you hang out with this person every 3 weeks. And that's okay because they're on your play roster. And you get to play with your friends and go out, have a good time. Maybe you do laser tag. I like to build Lego with men. If I ever ask a man to play Lego with me, I enjoy them as a friend. And it's great. Like, and not even that has to go somewhere. It's just like, hey, I enjoy hanging out with you. Come do this thing that I really enjoy. And we just get to have fun. You can just have fun. So take the pressure off of yourself. Live a little bit. I hope that this helps you. If your play includes doing the with someone, make sure you're safe. Make sure you're responsible. Make sure you assume and accept any consequence that can come with playing in that way, playing like grown-ups. And then also allow yourself just to play as a kid. Many of us are so stressed out with work and finances and all these other things. What happens when you give yourself the opportunity to just be and to enjoy yourself? So that's what I got for you. I hope that this was helpful. This went way longer than I wanted it to, but I want to remind you that it is my mission to empower you to embrace living a life that is real, raw, and free as. I love you so much. I don't know if I can say that on TikTok. I'll see y'all next week. Okay. And we have a podcast. I love you. Thank you for hanging out with me. I don't know how to see you guys. I literally just got TikTok live. Oh, let me stop recording this.